Good people, good people, good people. Welcome to another edition of Commander's Wrap, where you get all your Commander's news in 15 minutes. I'm your host, Dr. Wonderful, Doctor of Writing, Professor of English, and avid Commanders fan. Joined here by my co host, Kevin Bayne, as always. We air every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern on YouTube and replay at 10 a.m. on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Audible. How you doing today, Kevin?
I am doing good. How about yourself?
I can't complain. As we get closer to the season, it seems like we get a whole lot more drama when it comes to these teams. Lots of stuff going on in the NFL this
Absolutely.
this week. And as far as we go, we got a lot of drama this week, Kevin. That kind of started a little bit before, but fire kind of hit the fan during the Monday night game, and we'll get to what that fire was. But I thought first in our first segment we would actually just go ahead and recap the Monday night game against the Bengals, which provided its own fair share of drama and fun. The Commanders lost that game by a score of 31-17, but I know that I came away encouraged for from certain things that I saw in the game. What about you, Kevin? Give us your takeaways from the game.
Yeah. I got a few. Overall, I liked what I seen. I think there's a couple of things we can definitely clean up. I'll point one of those out, which is discipline penalties. We mentioned it last week. We have to be more. We had to be more disciplined. I will say the New England game we had like 12 or 13 penalties, and I believe we had 7 against Cincinnati. And look, I know you're going to get penalties. It's going to happen from time to time, but we just need to limit those to as few as possible. We had one that was pretty bad with our defense. First drive of the game, chance to get Burrow off the field. It was a 4th and 3. Bengals 49. Bengals on the 49-yard line, and then we got a neutral infraction on I think it was Frankie Lavuvu, and it's like those are just killers. And then it was 2 or 3 plays after that. Uh, Jamar Chase draws a pass interference on. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name. Noah.
No, I.
Yeah, yep. There you go. Which ended up putting Cincinnati at our 4-yard line. It's just. I mean, I'm glad it's happening now because you get a chance to kind of clean it up. Um, it really is a great reminder of what can happen. When you fail to execute those critical situations. Um, so I'm hoping to see us improve against Baltimore. We have got to clean those up in the most critical situations because those can be the deciding factor if we win or lose.
Absolutely, absolutely. I will say this for me. I'm just relieved. Okay, the training camp reports about this offense had me deeply concerned. But even though I was greatly encouraged by the defense, last year in last year's training camp, everything came so easy. I think I fell into thinking that everything would be easy again. You kind of forget that like football is complicated. Nothing comes easy from year to year.
Yeah.
Um, about those penalties, two of them that you mentioned, I will say on the defensive pass interference against Noah Igbenogany, we also have to remember that Jonathan Jones was not playing. Noah Igbenogany is while he has been playing backup outside corner. That's really Jonathan Jones' spot. He is kind of versatile, switching, being the main backup for Sanders Steele on inside slot. So I would like to say that the other guy who actually would have been the backup because Trey Amos wasn't playing also wasn't playing on Monday. So
Yeah.
it was going to be unfair anyway, but it was basically Jamar Chase against your backup slot corner on that particular defensive pass interference. I'm with you on pre snap penalties. For me, I always put them down to two things. Um, one of them is bad, the other one doesn't have to be, but it can become bad if you can't control yourself. Pre snap penalties are a matter of either you are undisciplined or you are too excited,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Frankie Louvu, Too excited.
Too
But you've
excited.
been excited a couple times and it's cost us some games, okay?
Yeah.
Right? Too
Yes. Yes.
excited,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Some of that, like I said, that defensive stuff, the horse collar, things of that, things of that nature, neutral zone infractions. Come on, we can't have that.
Yep.
The first thing the quarterback's going to try to do is draw you off sides if you're just within 5 yards.
You got to think.
Like you just got to know that they're
Yeah,
just going to try to
exactly.
draw me all sides. That's the
Yep.
only thing, right? And so look at the ball, not the count. Right, right. Like that's the thing. Look at the ball, not the count. So I'm with
Yep.
you on the pre-snap penalties. Got to clean that up. So I'm also looking for that to be better. I'm also looking for one of these quarterbacks to tell me that they want to be on the team
Yeah.
because we may say that Josh Johnson looked better than Sam Hartman, but not by much.
Right. 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 And
Like
yeah. Yep.
not by much. So there are definitely things that I'm hoping we also see in this last preseason game. But Kevin, let's switch really quickly to the news that came about B Rob and Terry coming off the pup. I'm going to get the Terry pup stuff off quickly so you can delve more into the B Rob information and trade. Terry coming off the pup means just exactly that. Terry has come off the pup list. There's no more press at training camp, so conveniently, we may not know if or when Terry practices. The only thing I do know is that we're definitely going to know game day.
Yep.
We'll know week one whether or not Terry's going to put himself on the field. Right? We've heard the numbers. I'm not going to get into numbers, not going to exacerbate fans. My last statement is this. If Terry wants what they suggest he wants, he needs to bet on himself, play out the year because if they franchise you and you do what you've been doing and you hit those top numbers, the franchise number is over 30 if the reports are true, right, that he's
Yep.
asking for what he's asking. So that's all I have to say then. But we'll know something about Terry no later than week one versus the Giants when we have to know something.
Yes.
Right. And Adam Peters kind of has that whole philosophy. You don't have to know until you have to know.
Yep. Yep.
Right. I do think they pulled him off the pup list because it is time to get ready for week one.
Yeah.
Right? So I do believe that that's about getting ready for week one, but this is Terry's decision. Terry can say, I'm not going to get on that field. This is what he said. If there's not progress, I can't get on the field. He could always get on the field and lie and
Yeah.
say that there
Yeah.
is progress,
Right.
but we're going to know what matters to the organization and to Terry come week one for the Giants. But that's still continuing, but something is not. Trade for B Rob. Talk to me.
Yeah. You said they was rumors were heating up about it, and then was it last week? Before the game, they decided to not play him. I think right then and there that was the confirmation that you were looking for. Um, and I talked about this, and I said I figured that's probably what we would get for him was a 6th round pick, which I wasn't a fan of. I listen. At the end of the day, it's a business. Obviously, they feel like between Krosky Merritt, Bill, and Chris Rodriguez that we're better or we're the same, and it does save us 3.3 million in cap space. I personally would have liked to see B Rob stay for this season. I wasn't so much worried about the 6th round pick. But then again, I'm not there every day inside training camp and like the coaches are. So,
Right.
I kind of got to trust Peters and his judgment in this and Quinn. And, if that's the decision they made, I'll back them for now. And I wish Brian Robinson nothing but the best. He's in a run
Oh.
heavy offense over there in San Francisco. And hey, Christian McCaffrey isn't the healthiest of people. So, maybe he becomes the number one guy over there. Time will tell.
Yeah, no, I absolutely wish B Rob the best. You and I felt a little bit different in terms of possibly if or when he could get traded, which I
Hmm.
thought could be late. And only because, in my opinion, I don't know. We don't know anything about interpersonal, this, that, and the other. I just found myself asking, is he a fit? That's all I found myself asking. Not is he a good running back, not does he have value. He is a very good running back, and that has been proven.
Well,
Right after the elite running backs, he's in that second tier.
yes,
But I didn't know if he was a fit for what this offense does now. And to be fair, I actually had that question when Eric Bieniemy came in.
yeah, yeah,
And Eric Bieniemy was not a great offensive coordinator, but I just remember asking myself, is Brian Robinson a fit for what Eric Bieniemy wants to do? And here's what's interesting: Chris Rodriguez was the Eric Bieniemy pick.
yes,
So that's one thing that we have to remember. Chris Rodriguez was an Eric Bieniemy pick. Eric Bieniemy was a running back. Who else was a running back? Anthony Lynn, who is now our running back coach. Right? So
yeah,
Eric Bieniemy is a lot of things, but he actually knows a little bit about running backs. Even
yeah.
though LaShawn McCoy would say different. So,
And you know what? You got to bring this up too, right? And I don't care what anybody says. It holds weight. Maybe not all the time, but some of the time it does. When a new regime comes in, a lot of times those guys they want their guys, right? Like that's just it's part of the business, right?
yeah,
No hard feelings. It is what it is. I'm not going to say that's the sole reason or anything like that. Like you just mentioned it, it could be the fit that they're trying to run. But I think, the fact that he's not a Dan Quinn, he's not a Peters guy, right? Like, it happens. It does happen.
it does. It does. It does absolutely happen. And to that end, we may find that out about Terry here.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Is he really or truly their kind of guy? Because as I say, this negotiation has gone this way for several reasons. But let's not forget that Washington has been able to negotiate multiple contracts since Adam Peters has been here. The
Yeah.
Sam Cosmi deal, right?
Yep.
Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner's his own agent,
Yep.
right? So there are certainly, we can't say that contracts can't get negotiated in Washington. They certainly can. So we just hope we get it to a resolution. But that's going to be the end for our segment this week, Kevin. We're next week we're going to wrap up the final preseason game that we had against the Ravens, and who from that game made the final roster, because final roster cuts are coming. And so Kevin is also going to give us his analysis of those final roster cuts, and we're going to start giving you our predictions for the Commanders season, our low and high. For Kevin Bayne, I'm Dr. Wonderful, Doctor of Writing, Professor of English, and avid Commanders fan, and this has been your latest episode of Commanders Wrap, where you get all your relevant Commanders news in 15 minutes.